When my wife handed me the divorce papers in the courthouse, she said loudly, "I'm finally free." I smiled and said, "Me too." The triumphant expression on her face instantly evaporated. My name is Robert Chen. I'm 52 years old, and I'm the founder of Chen and Associates law firm in San Francisco. Until that day, my wife Jessica was also my partner. In the last 3 years of our 25-year marriage, Jessica had completely changed. After meeting her Pilates instructor Marcus Williams, she constantly started talking about finding herself stories. 28-year-old Marcus was helping Jessica discover her true potential. Despite being 48 years old, Jessica started acting like she was 25 again. New clothes, new friends, new hobbies, and of course, a new life philosophy. Life is too short to be unhappy. But there was something Jessica didn't know. I wasn't just her husband, I was also one of California's sharpest legal minds. And for the past 6 months, I had been documenting her relationship with Marcus. Last month, while reviewing Jessica's phone bills, I noticed she was sending 300 messages daily to Marcus. Also, credit card statements showed $15,000 in payments to Marcus's personal training studio for private sessions. I hired private investigator Daniel Torres. Within 2 weeks, Daniel brought me photos of Jessica and Marcus's romantic weekends in Napa Valley, their plans to run a yoga retreat center business together, and Marcus's similar relationships with other wealthy clients. "This guy is a professional," Daniel had said. "He's simultaneously involved with at least 4 married women, taking money from all of them, selling them the same dreams." Planning process. That evening at home, while having dinner with Jessica, I asked, "How was your day?" "I had a very productive session with Marcus," she said, her eyes sparkling. "You know, he's contributing so much not just to my physical health, but my mental health too." "Wonderful," I said calmly. "By the way, I wanted to ask you something." "Yes." "How serious is your friendship with Marcus?" Jessica froze. "What do you mean?" "Just curious. Because divorce attorneys follow these kinds of friendships very closely." The next morning at breakfast, I said to Jessica, "Jessica, maybe we should go to relationship counseling. I've been feeling a bit distant lately." "Robert," she said, "maybe this marriage has naturally run its course. Maybe we should both chart different paths." "Are you sure? After 25 years?" "Yes," she said decisively. "I want a different life now. You're a very good man, but I've changed." Perfect. Now I had left the initiative to her. 2 weeks later, Jessica presented me with divorce papers. But at the courthouse, in a public area, Marcus was also there with her, for moral support. "Robert," Jessica said loud enough for people around us to hear, "this marriage is over. I want to be truly happy now." Marcus showed me that it's possible. I calmly took the papers and reviewed them. Jessica's attorney had done a very amateur job. There were major errors in the community property division. "Okay," I said with a smile. "Actually, I wanted to give you something too." I pulled out a file from my briefcase and handed it to Jessica. "This is for you." Jessica opened the file. Inside were photos taken by Daniel Torres, documented relationships of Marcus with his other clients, and most importantly, Marcus's real financial situation. "What is this?" Jessica stammered. "A comprehensive background check on Marcus Williams," I said calmly. "Turns out your soulmate is simultaneously in relationships with 4 different married women, taking money from all of them. And by the way, he's married himself. His wife lives in Texas." Marcus's face had turned pale. "This isn't legal privacy invasion." "Actually," I said, turning to Marcus, "in California, activities in public places aren't subject to privacy law. You're not a lawyer, so you wouldn't know. Also, Jessica," I continued, "there are major problems with the divorce papers you gave me. You miscalculated the community property. You underestimated the law firm's value, and most importantly," I paused for effect, "most importantly, while adultery doesn't directly affect property division in California, it's very important in terms of waste of marital assets." The $15,000 you paid Marcus going to another man instead of couples therapy, this is very interesting legal territory. By the way, I said, pulling out another file from my briefcase. I prepared something for you too. I handed Jessica the counter petition. This is my divorce filing, but mine is a bit different. Here, the full financial impact of your relationship with Marcus is documented. Also included is an investigation of the money Marcus received from his other students. Marcus jumped up. This is harassment. No, I said calmly. This is discovery. And Marcus, there's a surprise for you too. Marcus's wife in Texas, Linda Williams, is considering pressing bigamy charges against him because turns out you two also had a secret ceremony in Vegas 6 months ago. Jessica's mouth hung open. What? Are you married? Marcus ran out of the courthouse. Jessica, I said in a soft tone, I loved you very much for 25 years, but you won't make a fool of me. I'm one of the most experienced divorce attorneys in the California Bar Association. You, however, are a naive romantic. As I was leaving the courthouse, Jessica called after me, Robert, this is unfair. Marcus manipulated me. I turned and looked at her one last time. Jessica, life is about choices. You made your choice. I made mine. The difference is, my choice was based on legal expertise. As I got in my car, the phone rang. It was Jessica's new attorney. Mr. Chen, my client wants to discuss settlement. I smiled. Schedule an appointment. Rates are $800 per hour. And in this case, there's no conflict of interest anymore. 3 months later, the settlement was finalized. Jessica received a minimal share from the law firm. The house remained with me. Most of the retirement accounts stayed with me. Marcus Williams had to return to Texas. His wife Linda filed for divorce. Also, the California State Board started an investigation for practicing unlicensed therapy. As for Jessica, Jessica now lives in a small apartment, working part-time as a receptionist. Last week we met again at the courthouse.
I was there for another case.
Robert, she said, can you forgive me? Jessica, I said, I already did, but consequences are a different matter. What about us? Any chance? I smiled. Jessica, you still don't understand. I forgave you, but trust is earned, and you threw away 25 years of trust for a 28-year-old con artist. As I continued walking, she called after me. Robert, you knew Marcus had other women, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? I stopped and turned back. Because Jessica, you wouldn't have listened. You chose to believe what Marcus told you, and I chose to teach you that lesson. That evening at home, in the house that was now only mine, I was looking at new law firm partnership applications on LegalZoom with a glass of wine. The phone rang. It was a new client. Mr. Chen, my spouse is cheating on me and trying to manipulate me in the divorce case. I need you. Let's schedule an appointment, I said. And don't worry, I'm very experienced in these types of cases. My 25-year marriage was over, but my real career was just beginning.